So you may not think it by the sky behind me, but it was pouring here a little while ago. And I just got out of work a little while ago, and my plan was to come here to the park, record my video. But I saw the rain, and traffic was really bad, and my mind just said, "Nah, go home. Just leave it for tomorrow. I mean, your plan's not to upload the video till Friday anyway, so you got time." But I got home and said, "No, I'm gonna get my stuff and I'm gonna go. It's starting to clear up, and truth is, I live in South Florida. We can't live our lives here dependent on the weather because it'll rain for like a couple of minutes, storm, and then it's freaking beautiful." And that brings me to today's video because my idea was to talk about fear, and it was almost fear that made me not come and record today. And not because I'm afraid of the rain or anything like that, but it was just another excuse to not do it. So, yeah, let's sit down and talk about that. Fear has been something that honestly I could say has controlled my life. Well, pretty much as long as I can remember. And it's silly fears, insecurities, fear of what people are going to think of me. I'm not good enough. Why am I doing this? And today was a perfect example. I could have very easily just gone home and left this for tomorrow. And that would have been me giving in to the same fears that have ruled my life for so long. But when I started this project, the whole idea was to get beyond that and move beyond myself. And that's what I did today, and I'm proud of myself for doing that because I know the old me would have just said, "Nah, leave it for tomorrow. It's not necessary." So here we are. So let's talk about fear a little. Why are we afraid? I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? And that's what I'm learning. I mean, who cares? I've I've gone sometimes months, sometimes years, honestly, without putting up a single post on my Instagram, on anything, because every time that I go to put a post, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is silly. Why am I going to record this? I have a friend of mine who has told me a bunch of times I have so many videos on my phone of things that we've done and meditations and just doing silly things, whatever, events I've gone to, and I've never posted them. Why? Because at the same token, I've gone through my page and I've posted silly ass shit in the past, and I haven't cared. So, like I said, that's why I'm here. I want to get past that. I want to learn to get past that. I want to push myself. And I'm gonna be honest. My first video went up just a couple of days ago. It hasn't even been 48 hours yet from the time I'm recording this. And not that I was ever expecting it to blow up and be this, go viral and be huge or anything. But honestly, I was a little disappointed at the reception it got. I've gotten very little engagement. I've gotten very little traction on the video, and that's fine. I mean, I've been looking through YouTube and getting some ideas from other creators and stuff like that, and everybody's saying, that's normal. You got to give it time. But I know that the old me would have been, why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself out there like this? No one cares. No one's gonna relate to this. You're just talking. No one wants to hear what you're saying. But again, no, I know I have to change, and the first change is going to come from that, for me actually showing up for myself for the first time in my life, really pushing myself to go beyond my comfort zone. And trust me, this is me going way out of my comfort zone. So I pushed myself. I said I'm going to do it, and I've committed myself to minimum. I want to post at least one video a week. I'm going to try to do two. maybe more if a week pertains, if I have something exciting to say or I'm doing something exciting. But I'm going to push myself no matter what to have one video minimum a week. What that video is going to be about, I don't know. This whole fear talk came to me yesterday because when the first 24 hours kicked in on that video, and I saw some of the analytics and the numbers I was getting, yeah, I started going back to my old programming. I started thinking, like I said, why am I doing this? Last night, I even had this sadness come over me. I mean, I felt like crying. Like I was just at home and doing a few things and just all this. I don't know. I just got in my head a lot, and 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 that inner voice started telling me, again, go back to your safe place, retreat, don't do this. And it was hard. It was hard to like get over that, but again, I pushed myself and I was like, no. I I made myself a tea. I threw myself some tarot cards just to get some kind of message from the universe that I was on the right path. I did a meditation and I stepped out of that meditation before going to bed saying, tomorrow's a new day. And regardless of what happens, just keep showing up for yourself. Keep going. So that's what I'm doing now. And I do. I hope that my journey helps some people. I hope it gives, and I know I'm just at the beginning of this journey. I'm no one to yet, I think, be giving advice. I haven't figured any of this out. But I hope that just, you know, as you guys watch these videos and get to know me a little, and I open myself up about the person that I've been most of my life, this sheltered, scared uh, shell of who I know that I could be, that I should be, and that I'm at least taking the risk of showing up for myself now and of putting myself out there, regardless of the consequences. Maybe that gives people a little inspiration that you can do it too. I I know that's why I'm doing it. I've seen other people do this. A friend of mine just went live with her first video the other day, and she's getting an incredible reaction to it, and I'm so damn proud of her. And it motivated me to say, okay, yeah, why can't you do it? And that's how I've looked at so many things in my life. Like I touched on the last video, I'm an artist, but I've never been, like very comfortable even like talking about my art. When I really started focusing on my art as far as street art goes, doing wheat pasting and stickers and stencils and stuff like that out in the streets here, mostly out here in Miami and the streets of Wynwood, which was an old, well, it's an old art district that blew up in the last like maybe 15, 20 years, if not even that. I'd say maybe about 15, 16 years. And unfortunately, it's been gentrified to the point that most of the artists have gotten pushed out of there. It's not at all the same neighborhood it was, but that alone could be a whole other video another day, and I probably will touch on that at some point. Probably go out there and even show some of it and talk out there because that neighborhood holds a lot of meaning to me, and it holds a very special place in my heart and a very important time in my life that I think got me to where I am today with with the fact that I still want to continue even my art. But back then, I'd say maybe 12 to 15 years ago when I really started hitting the streets out there a lot, I I participated in a bunch of little shows. I did a lot of live painting events. And although my social anxiety would kick in from time to time, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there were events that I'd literally drive out there and see the crowd of people outside and keep going. That I'd park and walk over and be there for a little while and run into too many people that knew me or I knew or things like that, other artists, and I'd get so uncomfortable that I'd just disappear. Then there were times that I was fine and I was, like I said, painting live. And so my fears come and go, which is a whole other weird thing to me. But I closed myself off to that a couple of years ago. And I haven't painted live. I haven't done anything like that in years. But going back to when I was doing it, I was always insecure. I mentioned it in the last video, but I was offered walls to paint on more than one occasion. There's even a local brewery here in town that an artist friend of mine put together like a whole showcase of local artists, and they painted like these like I don't know, these sections on one side of the wall. Different artists had different sections. They originally did it years ago, and I wasn't able to be a part of it then, but they redid it about, I think, 2 years ago. They redid a lot of those sections, and they also painted up the whole front. Uh, and it's a place that really supports locals and stuff. And he offered me a space, and I was all excited about it at the time. I was like, "Oh yeah, cool! I'm gonna get to be on these walls with all these other local artists that I know, that I admire, that I came up with some of them." And then I chickened out. I chickened out because it was something I've never done. I was afraid. Again, I let fear take over. And because of that, almost 15 years into my Agent 7 career as an artist, I've yet to do a wall. I've posted up in a lot of prominent places back in the days and did a lot of things like that, but no, I never did a wall that's still standing there years later. And that's all because of me and because of my fears. One time I was even offered to do some pieces for a hotel in the beach. And again, I chickened out. I was like, I'm not ready for this. They're not going to like it. It's not going to come out right. And I burned that bridge too. But like I said, I've committed myself this time to like making a change. And this is the first step. It's the first step of my journey. And I know I have a long way to go still with this. I'm actually going home now to put together a little book. I started doing this little binding. I've never done that before in my life, but where I'm working now, they do books, and it inspired me. It inspired me to try it, and I put together a little book. It's like a little sketchbook, but like a sticker sketchbook. I don't want to say exactly what it is yet, but I made a little prototype a couple of weeks ago, and I actually showed it to a friend of mine, an artist friend of mine that works with me, and she thought it was super cool. So I have some materials at home, and that's actually where I'm going home to do as soon as I'm done with this. So it's baby steps. I'm at least trying to get my creativity back. I'm trying to move past those fears, and that's, I mean, if I'm gonna give a message in this video, it's that: move past the fears, because they've held me back for so long, and I just can't. I just can't let them keep doing that anymore. I got to move past myself. Sorry, I keep looking off to the side, but there's there's a little squirrel. There's a little squirrel just chilling over there by the tree. I don't know if you can see him, but I'm surrounded by birds and squirrels and all kinds of little animals on here. but but yeah, I'm gonna push past those fears, and I'm gonna keep showing up for myself. And I hope it inspires some other people to do the same. We're all on this planet for such a short time, and it flies by. I'm gonna be 52 years, yeah, I'm going to be 52 years old this year. That that threw me for a minute. Uh, and like I said in my last video, I know I'm not where I want to be in my life, and I know no one's coming to save me. So I need to be the change that I want to see, and I need to save myself, and that's that's the plan. So till the next video, thanks for listening, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.